Hi guys, welcome to this sixth episode of the Forex Beginner series. This is Jigle FX. So today I'm going to be showing you how I trade my strategy, and it's able to give me a good number of wins. But then before then, I'm going to show you an analysis I made for the week that went in my direction, the win trades that I took. All right, so let's go there. So guys, if you watched my video on the analysis I did last week, you see that I analyzed this trade on US 30, right? This move. So this was where I took this trade from, on US 30. And so let me show you the outcome of it. So as you can see, the market came close to my stop loss. But if you go to the 15 minutes time frame, this is 1 hour time frame. If you go to 15 minutes time frame, you see it didn't actually hit me out. There was an overextension there, that was why, but it didn't hit me out. So let me show you now how the trade ended. So guys, you can see the trade went in my direction 1:5. 1:5 means that whatever you risk in this trade, you make times 5. So assuming you risk $10, you make $50. If you risk $100, you're going to make $500. So this is it. I took two trades. There were two trades I took last week. This is the first one. Then let me show you the second one, and both of them are on US 30. So the second one. So guys, the market was at this point, and then I took this trade. And now let us see the outcome of the trade. So this is a screenshot of the outcome of the trade. This one went in my favor, 1:2.7 risk reward, almost 1:3, meaning that whatever you risk, you make 3 of it. So if you are risking $10, you make $30. If you're risking if you're risking $100, you make $300. So these were the two trades I took last week, and I analyzed them. So guys, I trade US 30 and gold, and every weekend I do forecast for the week, showing how the market would possibly go. All right, so if you want to see how I do that, you can be following me every weekend for my weekly analysis. So I took these two trades last week, and the both of them were wins. All right, so now let's head straight, and then let me tell you about confluences. Then we'll go to the chart, and I'll show you how I trade US 30 and gold and make wins for me. Thank you. So guys, there's something called confluence. Now everything we have been learning on strategy, we have learned chart patterns, we have learned trend lines, we have learned support and resistance, we have learned about break and retest. Now all those things we have learned about candlesticks. Now all those things we have been learning, you don't use them individually. There's a way you will have to join them together to form what is called confluence. So now confluence in forex trading refers to the combination of multiple factors or signals that align at the same point on the chart to increase the possibility of a successful trade. So imagine that at a point you have trend lines. You have trend line. So it helps traders filter out low quality setups and only take trades with high chances of success. So that is one thing, that's one thing that confluences helps you do. All right, so now I use a couple of confluences before I enter a trade. Right, so these are my confluences, guys. The first thing I check out for on my charts before I think about entry a trade, I look for support and resistance zone. I try to mark them out. And then number 2, I try to wait for break and retest. Then number 3, I try to find out how trend line aligns with it or Fibonacci. And then I look for candlestick on my entry time frame, and subconfluence, that's something that I can possibly look out for, but it's not compulsory. It's chart pattern. All right, so this is how I trade, and I don't take much trades in a week. All right, because some people think that when you trade plenty, you make plenty profits, but that is just the opposite. All right, you must wait for a trade that has a good number of confluence before you take it. So let's go to the chart now, and let me just show you briefly something like what I'm saying. Right now we are on the chart. This is US 30. This is what I trade. I can't do a full video on my analysis right here. I'm going to post another video on weekly breakdown, so I'll just make this one short. When I post my analysis on weekly breakdown, or you can watch the previous one I posted on weekly breakdown, you see how I do top down analysis, right? But let me just show you quickly, because we don't want this video to be that long. So now, first of all, we'll look for support and resistance zone. All right, there's something called top down analysis, but I will not be doing it here. If you watch my weekly breakdown, you will see top down analysis. So I will just be very brief here. So now look at this. This is support zone here. All right, so I try to stretch it out. All right, now assuming let's assume that this part of the market has not happened. Just picture like this particular from here, like this have not happened upwards, like imagine that it hasn't happened. So just be looking at it like it's not there. All right, now when the market came around that place, this was a support, right? Sorry, this was a resistance. Sorry. So what I would do is I would wait for this resistance here to be broken. So you can see that the market broke this resistance and then came and retested. So are you seeing it now? The first part of my strategy is support and resistance. So I now have a resistance here broken, and it now came and turned it to support. So resistance 1 broken turned to support. That is 2. Do you understand? And then the next thing I try to look out for is trend line or Fibonacci. So let's try to check for a trend line around that place if we can possibly find one. Okay, so let's check. Remember, your trend line must touch at least 2 lows or 2 highs. So like this. So this is a trend line there. All right, so guys, you can see there's a trend line around there. This is 1 touch, this is 2, and then this is now around the 3rd side or the 3rd point. So trend line 2, trend line 3. You see that? I don't really think there's a fib level there, but let's check if there's a fib level, Fibonacci level. Fibonacci. So remember how to use Fibonacci. You drop it here and then draw it up, guys. So you can see it's around 382. All right, that point is around 382 Fibonacci level here, 382. So there's a Fibonacci there, but then majorly I don't use 382. I mostly use 0.5 and 0.618. But then you can see we have 3 now. Are you seeing it now? We have 3 confluences. So let's go down to the smaller time frame. Remember, I'm a day trader, so let's go down to the smaller time frame to see what happened there. Now, okay, there's something called weak rejection. Weak rejection is where I've told you what weak is. Once the market came here, it touched it, it wicked up. Are you seeing it now? There's a weak rejection, and then when you look very well around here, you will see a bullish, a bearish engulfing, and I've explained to you what a bearish engulfing does. All right. So once I see something like that, that's an entry confirmation. So you see, 15 minutes is my entry time frame. So I come for 15 minutes and look for confirmation. All right, either 15 minutes or 5 minutes. Do you understand? That's a day trader. All right. So now, guys, this is where we are. Sorry. So this is where we are. So you can see now, I now have how many confluences? I now have 4 confluence, 4 of my confluence. Are you seeing it now? That was why I took this trade and it ended up in profits. Do you see that? So that was how I was able to take that trade and it ended up a win trade. All right, so you can check through different points and then you try to make analysis, and that's how you're able to make wins. It's a very simple strategy. All right, I'm not doing the full thing here. I'm just showing you what confluence looks like, and that's why I'm not doing the full thing here. Like I said, on my weekly breakdown, you can follow every week for weekly breakdown. If you follow every week for weekly breakdown, you will see how I do my top-down analysis, and then you can follow that. In fact, even if you are not trading US30, the strategy I use, it works on many pairs. It works on many forex pairs, and I think it also works on crypto. So in case you are trading crypto, in case you want to trade crypto, you can also use it. All right. So guys, as you can see, this is how we trade this simple strategy. These are my confluences. I would not want this video to be very long. All right, so this is it. Now by this, I think we have come to the end of this class on strategy. But then there's something, lest I forget, please go and research about psychological level. I don't use it in my trading. That was why I didn't talk about it, but it's important for you to know things like that. Psychological level. Also, psychological level can act as support and resistance levels, because whenever market come to those points, they tend to respect them. So go make research on psychological levels. All right, so this is the end of the strategy. So now in the next class, I'm going to be showing you the back end of trading, where we use MT5, like where you execute trade, like where you enter the real trade and all of that. I'm going to show you that in the next part of this series. So if you have a question, do not forget to drop it in the comment section. Peace out, guys. Thank you. Catch you in the next episode.